What you doing? You want to say hi to everybody? Say hey. Give you a wave. That's it. All right, guys. So Loretta's out here with me today, and we're doing some wiring on the GTO. And she's got her own personal little heater right there. Ain't that something? Yeah, man. All right. So today, what's up? It is time to get the trans brake, these extra sensors, the transmission sensor, the drive shaft speed sensor, all that stuff needs to get wired up in this episode. So let's hammer down, let's get this stuff done, and yeah, man, let's beat our heads up against the wall on this wiring. Alrighty, guys, so first things first here, went ahead and got some wiring done on this bad boy. On the, let's see here, we got the transmission temp and the drive shaft speed sensor, and yeah, man, it's time to see if that stuff actually works or not. At the same time, we're going to be testing something else. We did get some new radios in, some race radios in for the car, for me and for, you know, whoever is going to be backing the car up and stuff, and Hannah was wanting to test that stuff out as well. And plus we got a new headset for me. The one me and Jesse was testing last week worked pretty decent for inside the helmet, but I just felt like it just wasn't quite loud enough. So we're going to test out another one here in just in a minute, and I'll put up in the screen here so you guys can see what it is I'm talking about. So yeah, man, let's fire this old girl up and see if this stuff sounds okay. Alright, guys, these are the radios we're testing out. These are rugged radios. These are racing radios that work pretty good. And this is the actual radio we're using. These are 10-way. These are really cheap, and they sound great. I only have one downside I do not like on these. I'm not a fan of all these buttons on here. Really and truly, I may end up buying some different ones of these. I just want it to turn on, it's on the channel, and that's it type of deal. So I'm gonna look around, see what all I can find. But I just don't like all these buttons. Me and Jesse, as we've been testing these out, I've noticed it's really easy to push a button and change the channel, and now you're all messed up. So we may have to do something different on this right here. But they do work good, they sound good, and no problem on that. But I just don't like all these buttons. If you guys have used these types of radios before and know a way to like lock the buttons or something to keep from accidentally pushing a button on it and changing the channel, let me know. This is the earpiece for me to go inside my helmet right here. This just goes into my ear, and I can hear pretty good with that. That works pretty good right there, even with this loud thing right here. So works pretty good. So kind of looking around on this right here to keep it inexpensive. Seriously, these radios right here were only like I think 40 bucks or something like that off Amazon. But I'm gonna look around and see if I can find any others. The problem is finding them that's got this kind of hook up in the side of it there. So I'm gonna keep looking around, see what I can come up with. If not, we'll make these work, but we got to be aware of don't push a button here or you'll be on a different channel. So that's what's going on. All right, guys, man, what a day, Jesse.
Yeah, man.
Golly, this man right here has been on it today.
Even on my vacation.
On your vacation day.
Good friend, I'll tell you.
Good friend. All right, so just to tell y'all the amount of stuff this man done for me today, I had a lot of wiring stuff on the list to do. And so Mr. Jesse cleaned out the trailer. What all did you do to the trailer?
Pretty much gutted all the winter stuff that got hoarded up in there. Got all that cleaned out, somewhat swept. So what we got in there right now is the front end of this thing and the golf cart. That's
Heck
it.
Yeah. Heck yeah. So I guess, guys, what we're doing is we're wrapping up on last minute stuff on this car, getting it ready for Streetcar Takeover, and me and Jesse's been working on wiring. If you guys see all this mess I got going on right here, there's a whole lot of scientific
a lot of head scratching.
Yeah. I've literally been working on this for hours.
Yeah.
Seriously.
All day just about it since we got in the shop today.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, there's a good 8 to 10 hours of wiring that's been going on in this car, just between mounts, wiring, plumbing, all that stuff.
So more or less, we got in the shop at 1 o'clock today. You didn't start on the car till about 2.
Yeah.
And here it is, 10:30.
Yeah.
That's how long he's been on it. So
yeah, it's been a lot. So we now have drive shaft speed sensor hooked up. We now have trans temp and trans pressure hooked up, and I do have the wiring done on the trans brake, but I'm finishing up the programming on the laptop right now, and I'm almost done with that. So, yeah, we've been busy. So Jesse's been moving stuff around the race car trailer, getting it prepped. We've been burning like every cardboard box that Jegs makes and Amazon makes. Dear Lord, we've had a huge burn pile
today.
Still
still more to come.
And still more to come. Good Lord. So there's just a lot going on. So big shout out to Jesse. I can't thank him enough on that.
No problem, man.
But, yeah, guys, we're going to wrap up on the programming on this tomorrow. We'll fire this old girl up. We'll double check all the wiring on everything, make sure all the sensors are reading good, and then we may be banging the daggum two-step tomorrow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so that's the first time that'll be happening with this deal. So it might get a little rowdy over here.
Yeah, exactly. So neighbors, hear out. That's all I'm saying.
That's right. Oh, by the way, what did you think about the rugged earphones that we're using?
Man, they're the cat's meow. I'm telling you, guys, if y'all are ever, to the watchers, if y'all are ever around big loud cars like this, that's the ticket. You can talk to each other from the cockpit to the people outside that you need to talk to. That's the way to go right there.
Yeah, 100%.
Nice.
So we've been testing out some new race headsets for the car.
Yeah, there was a fuel leak.
Yeah.
Up there today, we fired it up. There's a major fuel leak, and I clicked on the button. I got his attention to it.
Yeah.
Cut the motor off.
Yeah, because you guys need to understand, this thing is a house of loudness level.
yeah, you got a lot of horsepower in one spot. Bad things can happen. You got to be on it.
Yeah, and we've been needing the headsets for a while. We got sponsored a set of headsets. Yeah. But unfortunately, those things, we were starting to have problems out of them, and so we had to buy all new stuff. But we were testing the stuff out today, and everything seems to be working good. But yeah, man, we're rocking and rolling here. So, all right, guys, it's time to test the two-step out finally, see how that's going to work, how the trans brake's going to work. So y'all sit back and enjoy this. I'm ready to hear some fire shooting out and stuff like that. So let's see what this thing's going to do. Y'all sit back.
I'll tell you what you do. You just take them dang old spark plugs out, and in that little hole, you just put a little oil around there, just like Bobby Hunter says. It's like it go boom, boom, just like that.
Here we go. Fire the hole.
Was it violent?
That car was shaking on the stand, dude.
Alrighty, guys, to explain what's going on here, we've actually got a little issue that's happening. We're going to run the two-step again to see what's going on. So what's happening is, when I'm on the trans brake, it's engaging the two-step at the same time. Okay, two-step's working fine. The problem is when I engage the trans brake, and we'll put some video up in here so you guys can see it, what it's doing is it's actually, as soon as you go up on the two-step and trans brake, it's actually rolling the wheels forward. Okay, meaning so it's blowing through the trans brake like the trans brake ain't there in transmission. So there can only be two things that's going on, and we're trying to weed this problem out here. it's either in the linkage for the shifter, meaning I've got the shifter adjusted wrong, or to me, I feel like maybe there's something in the programming that I've done in the Holley to where it's making the trans brake bounce and jump back and forth or something. That's the only thing I can think of that it would be. When the car's not running, it's not bouncing around or doing anything like that. So I don't know if it's set up, if I've got a parameter set up weird or a function set up weird. As soon as it gets up on the rev limiter, that it rolls through it. So I don't know. We're gonna have to figure some stuff out here and see what's going on. So y'all hang tight. Let's test it again, see if I've got it figured out. If not, we've got a lot of work ahead of us. So let's see what's going on. Alrighty guys, we just made a lot of changes on this thing to try to figure out where the problem was. Me and Jesse just had to stop filming for a minute.
Yeah.
It took us a while, didn't it?
Yeah, we've been freaking sitting over at that table, just scratching our heads, pulling our hair out, watching videos here and there, and it's awful.
Unfortunately, today is Saturday, and it's 3 o'clock, and Holley is closed today after 2.
Yeah.
So we no longer have the help service, which is my fault. I should have called sooner. But anyways, our problem that we've been fighting is this thing, when you go to hit the trans brake on, and you go up to 3,200 or 3,500 RPM, this thing right now is set 3,200. What it's doing is, it's literally turning the trans brake on and off, and it's rolling through the trans brake, okay? At first, I was trying to figure out, is it the solenoid that's making this happen? Is it the Holley? Is it the shifter? What's causing this to happen? So we hollered at our buddies at TSR. Big shout out to Craig and Chris. You know, we're troubleshooting, trying to figure out what's going on. This stuff is new to me when it comes to programming the computer and with the type of transmission that we're using. So I'm learning. And so Craig was like, hey, why don't you try this and try that when it comes to the shifter, see if it's going on in the mechanism, if it's not letting the solenoid engage all the way. We tested that out, it's still the same thing. So then it starts hitting them, it's like, well, maybe it's not in the linkage at all, maybe it's in the Holley. So what I done was, we took a constant 12-volt wire and we hooked it up to the trans brake solenoid, and with constant 12 volts on it, it works fine. It engages the trans brake. It don't let the tires roll through. So now we've eliminated transmission issue. So now we know it's in the Holley. So me and Jesse dig through the Holley. It was on me. It was my fault. What's going on is, yeah, get him over here. This man fell asleep twice while we was doing the programming, so I won't hear it.
Wait a minute, that was like the other day, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning.
True, true.
So 30 years old here. I'm getting old, man.
Dang, man. So anyways, what the problem is, what happened, all the videos on YouTube and all the instructions out there is made for a turbo car.
Yeah.
And when I done the programming for the trans brake and the two-step, I set it up like if you was running a turbo car. I thought I had the bump button functions if you're going to use a bump button, meaning if you're up on two-step and turbo cars need to keep boost built up high, they're going to bump the car in, okay? Whereas with my car, we don't need that, all right? You've got it's a blower car. I don't need to build boost. It's got all the boost all the time. So as soon as I'm staged in, when I push the trans brake down, I'm 100% wide open on the throttle. I don't need to build nothing. We're ready to shoot fire out the pipes right there.
Yeah.
So that being said, a function in a table graph that was in the computer had the trans brake turning on and off at 50%. And so what we done is, we went in there, we eliminated that to where it's only staying on at 100%, meaning it's not turning the trans brake button off. So
yeah,
let's test this out.
Yeah.
I think we got big changes here.
Let's we do.
Let's make sure it works.
Let's hope.
Let's do it. All right, Jesse, here we go.
Fire and hold. I didn't see that dirt tire move that go around.
She followed us.
All the way. Yeah, man.
Woo! Good job, man. We got it.
Yeah, man.
Hold on. Dadgummit, man.
Dude,
We've had a hard time with the goat.
yeah,
It's
it's time to just go to town on the Chinese food.
It's time to think about it and eat some food here. Let's get in here and tear this place up. Now that's what I'm talking about right there, guys. Jesse, what do you think?
This is the only time to really get me quiet in life.
That's right, man. It's time to dig in. What the heck just happened?
I'm telling you, man. Bunch of BS.
Golly, man. Everything was good. So,
Everything was good, man.
show y'all what's going on. See a sweat spot right here. And look where it's leaking from. Y'all can see that? Yeah, it's bad. That's real bad. So, I don't know. It's either O-ring or mechanical seal. I don't know what's inside there. Hopefully the O-ring is just pushed out and nothing is cracked or nothing is broke. So if something's broke, we're in trouble. I don't know if we're gonna be able to make it to street car takeover or not. So let's hammer down. Jesse's siphoning out the fuel cell right now, and once he gets done siphoning everything out,
I think I just got done.
did you get it? Cool deal. All right, so we'll finish draining this deal. We'll get the boost pipe off, get the fuel pump off, get it on the table, and see what's going on. So Jesse, it's time to get off.
Exactly.
Alrighty guys, man, this just went full sideways here. So it's time to drain the fuel cell, drain the fuel lines, and get the fuel pump off this deal. This is actually the first time I've taken the fuel pump off with the boost pipe on it, with the radiator on it, with the fuel cell on it. So we're getting to kind of do some real life in between rounds maintenance here. So got the fuel pump off very easily, which was nice. And come to find out, this top little billet piece right here, this is where the problem is. This came loose on us, and we end up Loctiting it up real good, and Loctite the rest of the pump too, just to make sure nothing else would come apart here. So there you guys go. It's time to get this thing back together. All right, guys, what a mess we just went through. So long story short, the pump came loose around. This thing has an adjustable collar on it, so you can adjust where this mount is, and it came loose inside the pump air. So we went through it, Loctited up, and the O-ring looked fine that was in it and all that stuff. So let's get back on the car and try again. Man.
I'm telling you, it's one thing after a dang another.
Oh man. Alrighty guys, it's time to get the fuel pump back on it and the fuel lines, fuel filter, get everything tightened back up, and make sure everything is good shape there and not going to leak, and also fuel this old girl back up. As soon as we get this thing fueled up, we'll test fire it again, make sure that the pump is not leaking, nothing else is leaking, and there's no other problems in any other areas. And boy, what a what a mess today, guys. What a mess. It's all right. We're in good shape. Okay. It's time to get back to where we was an hour and a half ago. Golly. Lordy.
Man. Part of the hobby, let's put it that way.
Part of the hobby. We had about an hour delay there that we didn't want. So
Yeah.
fuel pump's good. I'd never had to fuel pump a part before, but it looked like I've got a really big Enderley pump on it, and it looked like some of the bolts didn't have Loctite on it, and so we just went through, Loctite everything up, so hopefully that pump won't vibrate apart and stuff, because
Yeah.
that's what had happened. The O-rings look good and all that, so
None of them got pinched or
yeah,
nothing
none
like
got
that.
pinched, so we literally just cleaned everything up, Loctite everything, put it back together. So far, all that looks good. It's now time we need to go through and tighten up bolts, because it's vibrating everything loose. So we need to double check everything, and once all that's good, it's now time to put the front end back on and do a test drive.
Yeah,
Finally.
man, sounds good to me.
Alrighty guys, we are back in the shop. The car made it back safe and sound. Luckily nothing laid down on us, golly.
Yeah, man.
This whole fuel pump situation was not intended, was not planned, and golly, it's been a
It
lot
threw
of
the
work.
shaft in our little system we had going on.
Yes, it did. So guys, I felt like it was a great episode. We had a lot of stuff going on at all ends on this thing. We got a lot of sensors hooked up to it. That stuff worked. We finally figured out the trans brake and the two-step situation. We're learning. I mean, we're figuring this stuff out, and I'm learning more and more on the Holley the more we mess with it. But guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys be sure to come out and see us at Streetcar Takeover this coming Friday. That's April the 21st.
Yeah,
Do not miss that. It's a great local event. There's a lot of cool fast street cars there, and we're going to be on display there. We are getting really close to having this thing ready to go make some passes and stuff. We got to get our parachutes hooked up on it, and get our wheelie bars on it, and have the chassis inspected. And guys, we're ready to start making some test hits. So you guys stay tuned. We got a lot of cool stuff coming very soon. And Jesse, man, thank you for your help today. Is awesome, dude.
anytime, man. It's what it's about. Teamwork makes dreams work every time.
That's right. Well, Jesse, end us out here.
Y'all know the ordeal. Like and share, smash that subscribe button, turn her into gray. Like the comments up. 9 times out of 10, me and Houston will be there, guys. God bless, and we'll see you on the next go-round.
That's right. Be sure and come see us at Bristol and give me and Jesse a hard time.
Always.
That's right. See y'all later. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Don't forget to go over to KilmerSports.com where we've got all kinds of merch over there and all kinds of high-performance products as well. And definitely a big shout out to our sponsors and partners. Till next time, you guys have a good one.